Welcome to yet another exciting episode of Behind the Brand, the podcast that takes you behind your favorite brands. Today, though, to celebrate Entrepreneurship Month, the lovely Candice Modiselle. Hi, Tumelo.
Oh, girl said even first name basis.
I mean, we're there now.
Hi, queen.
How are you doing?
I'm good. It's been a little bit of a fluey time for me, so my register and my pitch is a lot lower than usual. But I'm good. I'm lovely. I'm amazing.
Oh, it's been a long time coming.
It has. We've had this conversation for a while. But finally, we're here.
Yes.
And a very fitting month, a very fitting time. You know, everything in its rightful time will unfold as it rightfully should.
Of course.
Here we are.
And this is also around the time that so many things are happening under the Candice Modiselle brand. I think let's start by talking about that. Like, you, at this point, you are the face of BET Africa. Girl, we're going to start by saying congratulations.
Thank you.
How has it been?
It's been amazing. I've had the honor of sharing spaces with so many prolific Black individuals who really are custodians and representative ambassadors of Black excellence. People that I've interviewed, people that I've really just interacted with overall in the industry, various musicians, storytellers, entrepreneurs, entertainers, and just to be trusted as the voice, the face, and like I said, the ambassador of the platform is a big deal, something that I don't take lightly. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping, crossing fingers, that I get to go to the BET Awards next year.
Listen, you are there. Why are we still
Amen. In the
fingers?
mighty name of Jesus, we are going. Yeah, but
Thank you.
it's been great. And I wear so many hats that this one, being one that I didn't actively seek and just aligning with all that I do, just effortlessly, it's honestly a God work. It could only be a God work.
And I like that you mentioned how you basically wear different hats under this Candice Modiselle brand. But I mean, we've seen all of that now that we're almost at the end of the year. We've seen you come out in all these hats and really show up, queen. Acting, Netflix, listen, all of that. But I think let's start at the beginning where the Candice Modiselle brand really started. Was it intentional? Did you find yourself just exposed to these platforms? Did you go to auditions because I want to be a star? Or did you go because this looks fun?
The funny thing is, I don't even associate myself with being the Candice Modiselle brand. I'm just someone who loves exploring the various facets of the gift that God has given me. Funny enough, I started off as an actress, and people associate me more as like a television presenter because of how I rose to like fame and recognition, or quote unquote fame. I don't often use that word, but just the notoriety and familiarity that I gained with an audience. But I started off in theater at the age of 10. And, you know, I was really struggling to get my breakthrough, and my agent, or someone had reached out to my agent. Funny enough, that person happened to be the late great Akumzi Jezile. Had reached out. They were doing auditions for YoTV Live, and I was on their books as someone that they were interested in, not because it seen my work or anything, because I didn't have any work they could reference, but they just wanted someone within a particular bracket, a particular age, and I happened to be signed up under the agency. They were like, please have her come through to an audition, and everything had unfolded seamlessly. And I mean, I am where I am as a result of that opportunity, but I don't think I was really intentional. The one thing I've probably been intentional about is just my impact and just the choices that I make. So from the roles that I take to the things that I put my stamp on. Oh, my earrings fall off. So fitting. What a moment. But just the things that I've really just associated with myself with, I've been very intentional about over the years. And I guess that's what's birthed the Candice Modiselle brand, being everything authentic, everything that champions excellence, brilliance, love, kindness, and just who we are as young, gifted Black South Africans.
Yeah, and I feel like some people might even say, listen, I mean, Candice Modiselle has been in this game for so long, right? She keeps on doing all these things, but I'm sure we all wonder which one was your actual first love. Like the one you say, listen, on any other day, I'm waking up and I'm doing this, no matter how much it takes.
Oh gosh. The first love was acting. And I say was because I think it's evolved. because it was the first time, also because I wasn't exposed to presenting and the other things in entrepreneurship and teaching. I think my first love right now is teaching.
Is it?
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Candice Modiselle, the teacher.
The teacher. So I started off teaching at OnQ Interface School of Television and Radio. And at the time, I was a facilitator for workshops in TV presenting. And there were so many other people, a lot of young talents that have passed through my hands, which has been really awesome. But also just I was associated with a lot of other great teachers and other people who facilitated workshops. Industry professionals, giants, various people. I could name them, but I'm not going to name drop. And we've had the pleasure of just sharing our insights on the world of television, the skill set, the tools that have made us who we are. And yeah, so it started off over there. And since then, I do like smaller workshops now with other industry professionals. Like there's people who are like influencers and they go, Candice, I really want to go into presenting. Candice, I'm really interested in being a presenter, but I don't know how to do a self-tape, or I don't know how to do this. And now I get to like do these one-on-one sessions with them. And it's not for any other reason, not for any clout, not for any recognition, but because they want the skill, I have the skill, and I know how to assist them in sharpening and heightening and unearthing all of these talents that they have. So there's that, which is really awesome. And I also get to teach through my online platform, the 5-minute call. So yeah, there's this.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, so I suppose that the teaching aspect is something I love the most, but also the entrepreneurial hat. I mean, I'm sitting here with my amazing business partner, Candice, and he's been the person who's been able to shake it out of me. And yeah, well, I guess we'll get to see what else there is.
Yeah. Just before we step into the entrepreneurial hats that you wear, right? Would you say it was maybe a bit easier for you to tap into? I mean, we know African parents and the arts, and they're just like, I'm with that thing. But would you say it was easier for you to tap into that and really blossom the way you have over the years because you already had family members that were in the industry, and so it was more like, we've got you,
I think that's what made the exposure that my sisters had to the industry is probably what made my mom a lot more apprehensive about it. But maybe it's that kind of thing where she was like, okay, Refilo's had experience as a model for a couple of years, Bundla experience as a professional dancer. Yana Tumikio Watla saying that she wants to act. There's that level of familiarity. My mom wasn't a fish out of water when she was watching another one of her daughters become an entertainer. But there were things that she also got to see, that the time, it was a lot more time consuming, a lot more demanding. People being a little bit opportunistic of this talent. So it was probably a tug of war for her. But yeah, I think also because I'm the only one out of my sisters that went to then study the craft. And I decided to not just take it professionally, but academically. So I went, then I did my honors degree at the University of Witwatersrand, and I obtained my honors degree, which was really great. And now, by the grace of God, I get to operate in the industry that I studied. And that on its own is completely unheard of. You get people who get degrees in all kinds of things, and then they segue into another industry. But I studied it. But I mean, the funny thing is I majored in dance, which is surprising. I majored in contemporary movement and physical theatre. And yeah, another one of the hats that I get to wear.
A fellow Vitsi and a Vitsi for life.
Vitsis, were you a Vitsi?
Yes, ma'am.
Please,
you are honored. You have a
congratulations to all of you.
It's not an everyday occurrence,
to everyone. Yes.
Very lucky people you are.
Yes.
But now we're going to bring in Candice and really talk about how it went from Candice Modiselle, the artist, the academic, to Candice Modiselle, the entrepreneur. How did we get into the business and saying, listen, there is a gap, we're going to fill it?
So Candice had reached out to me. It was probably the early days of 2021. 2021, no?
That was when I was successful reaching out to her, but there were prior opportunities and I tried.
No,
I'm curious.
I'm curious. It wasn't that long.
I think it was maybe, look, as you can see, she's an amazing speaker, amazing personality. And I just remember that was obviously wasn't that exposed to the entertainment industry and all that. So she was my first reference of how great the Modiselle family is. And I just remember saying to myself that, hey man, I gotta do something with her, you know.
You slid in the DM.
You know, no, I didn't.
Email.
We've known each other since varsity.
Yeah,
Oh,
varsity,
okay,
yeah.
yeah. So it wasn't completely.
It was a matter of
Yes.
one day.
Hey, bud, how have you been? Listen, this is what I'm thinking. Let's sit down and have a conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, we had that conversation, but it was like an app that we had. It was like a job sharing app, and then later down the line, yes, you
Now
see,
she remembers.
you see, we've been hustling. We've been
How were we gonna know the true story if you weren't here, Candice? Oh,
At the launch
Yeah.
of that job show.
yeah.
He's
And
right.
then- and then-
He's right. We come from far.
and then I think it was at the height of COVID. We're just figuring things out, and then I bumped into her again, and I was like, "Look, we seriously have to do something together." And she was very open, and then we linked up, and then
Yeah, we worked on
had-
a Million Young Alliance, right?
Oh yes, that
That's
was
where
that.
we worked together.
Yeah. So yeah.
so you
it's
guys
working.
worked together way before Silla, basically.
Yes. So we brought Sophia with the partnership with the corporate education, and we needed an MC, and I was like, "This is the time," you know.
know the
And then
perfect
worked with Candice, and she was amazing. Blew everybody's hats off, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And I was like, "I told you guys, And then I think from there, I think maybe a month later, I bumped into her at a coffee shop. I think it was Doppio in Greenside. I was like, "Oh, we got to link up, we got to chat about business," and I think. She finally said yes, you know. So be persistent.
Please don't give up.
Yeah.
Keep on pushing.
I wonder, it's so funny. He's being so modest, making it seem like, he had to humble himself before me and pitch. But he really came in and challenged me. The e-commerce space was something I was completely unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
And I think because I played it safe and I was operating within the comfort of the things that I'm most accustomed to being entertainment, the minute he's spoken to me and we had a conversation about Sele, or it wasn't even Sele at the time, we just spoke about exploring different opportunities. I remember we spoke about a headphones brand, starting with that. Did you still not go back there? Why
no.
your eyes are looking like
No,
somebody
no.
want to explore?
No, I'm just thinking, you're mentioning all these things from the past, and I'm just like, oh yeah,
We got pretty far. So we explored a lot of options.
Yeah.
And shortly thereafter, Sele was birthed when we started exploring what am I interested in? What do I actually love? And when I say that, like, I may be the face of Sele. People may associate me with Sele and the Safe app because of, again, my public appeal and that level of recognition. But he really is the neck that turns it. He's like,
And you did say.
Can it. And that's why it was important that I had him here for the conversation. It's very easy for me to go, let me speak about this brand. But I know where the true hard work comes from and how we align in our strengths to make all of these things possible. So it was a no-brainer.
I think I'm gonna take a guess to guess where Silla comes from.
Oh,
The last-
please be so kind to entertain us.
The last 5 letters, five letters of Modiselle.
Thank you. You're probably
There
the
we
only
go.
person that's gotten that. Because people also say Sal. I'm like, okay.
Why would you think that?
I don't know. Because there also is an accent on the E, which makes it Sele. But thank you. Thank you for getting that right.
But why is Sille? Like, because that's not, my surname is Matala, but I don't think the first,
you go say Tlala.
I mean, do you understand?
Tlala.
Tala. Like, that wouldn't be the
It would
first,
also be
my
hunger.
first.
If it was Tlala, it would mean hunger.
And then it means something totally different. I'm
Yeah,
just like, no, we're trying to not be hungry by
Maybe
starting
we are
this
hungry.
business.
But it could be like Tlala communications because we are hungry.
Hectic.
I don't...
But why Sille? Like, did you sit down and have like an epiphany or something like that? Or was it a matter of, actually, I want to create a legacy and I want to be intentional about it. And it has to be with my family name.
How did you get to Sele again?
So look, I came up with terrible names, very, 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 very bad names, very
Your
bad
face.
names.
Says it all.
And we were workshopping names, and she's like, "I got it," and then Sele, and I was like, "Oh, that's amazing," And I think especially when it comes to making an impression online, you don't really have that many people's attention, the span, and it just sounded perfect, and it's Sele, so it's like sounds like 2 words, so it was very perfect in terms of marketing, and I was like, genius, because like I said, as much as he says I turned the neck and everything like that, I can make some bad branding decisions.
Yeah,
You know,
Give me one bad name.
creative, a
You
bad
had.
one.
Yeah.
Please, there's been a few.
there's been a few the packaging. I think in the beginning, because like I said, I'm more.
Oh, the packaging in the beginning.
I need the story.
Yeah, no.
We're here for it.
So like I'm like I like numbers. I like the whole, I like the infrastructure, the operations and stuff like that. And in my mind, and I think this is also very important to have Candice as my business partner, but also just to have someone of a different sex as your business partner. Because sometimes as guys we don't see these things. And the one thing, when you receive a gift, you receive a package, it starts there, and the smile, the look, and everything, the whole feel.
I must want to open it.
Exactly. Where I'm just thinking Ziploc bag, I'm saying, black plastic bag and stuff like that. It's like, nah, the product is inside. Don't worry, they like it. It's all concept, and it's just like, no.
So because again, and one thing that people must know when you think of Sele, it's the two of us. It's the two of us. So from the beginning, the packing of the boxes, the shipping, the everything that was happening in our own strength, by our own means, with our own finances, from our own capital. And when we look at different like sample options for packaging, there was that, like, when you go to like a fun fair kind of thing, you get that bag where you can put the sweets in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not the best,
So he's like, all of them could go in like these little paper things.
Did you want to scream? Because I want to scream now thinking about it.
So even it's an affordable option. So if I didn't tap into the customer experience or the consumer experience, it could have been a yes from me if I was thinking of what was the most affordable, a route to go, because what the business was in its infancy. We could have just gone that route, but it's like, let's take a step. We want to leave them with an experience and we want them coming back and buying more. Of
course.
Because even if they may not necessarily, and they always like the jewelry itself, but even if it's not the jewelry that they appreciate the most, at least we could say that they got this box that has Sele on it and they're like, oh, I love this. So there was that. But yes, we've had some conflicting decisions when it comes to branding, when it comes to the names of the actual accessories themselves. But we always find them.
Those are also interesting names. I went on the site the other day. I was just like, I as a lady, I can relate. I'm just like, I become, it's almost like I have a relation to the name. It's almost like I'm just like, I get you. I become the cushion, soft self when I buy. It's not like just a diamond earring and then you buy it. No, it has a name.
Bloom.
Do you understand? Like all these things that really basically came about when you were conceptualizing the designs. So let's talk about that also. Conceptualizing cellular jewelry. We're intentional about making it stand out as the one jewelry piece or jewelry line that basically doesn't need me to pierce. Because also piercing is quite painful. I have one and I was just like, I don't know why I went back. So when I was introduced to Silla, I was like, this is a girl's dream.
Yes.
Why? How did we get there? Because even the big jewelry lines probably haven't thought about this. So this is a game changer.
It definitely is. And I think it came from even the beginning of our conversation when he was like, what are you interested in? What do you like? And I recognize that one thing that I like for sure is jewelry. I may not be that well versed in the intricacies of jewelry or process or anything like that, but I loved nose rings. And at the time, because I was a full-time actress I'd left the soapy that I was on at the time, but I knew that I wanted to still keep the nose ring, but I may not have the luxury of being able to have a piercing. So I would always have these little clip-ons. I remember even growing up and then have these little magnetic nose rings or whatever, which may not have been as hygienic. But
I inhaled one of the magnets.
Yeah.
At some point, it was the worst thing.
Yeah, so all these options that you would find, Kodi Shopong, Kodi Kone, there was that. But I knew that there was just such a huge gap in the market for us to have these clip-ons. And mind you, my nose hasn't been pierced in 8 years. I pierced my nose when I was 21 years old. And then I joined the soapy a couple of months later. And then I had to remove the nose ring. So my nose isn't pierced. So people would know that my nose hasn't been pierced in 8 years, but I've been wearing nose rings for years. And we were able to then create a line where you could just...
I wouldn't have guessed also. And I think a lot of people wouldn't have guessed as well. So with the designs, do you guys start with designing on paper and then you take it to where it's manufactured and all of that? How do we go about that part?
Yeah, so I think this is where the customers have come in, you know. Instagram, the DMs, they're always asking, hey, do you have a stud, or do you have belly rings, or do you have a septum, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think all the messaging like that kind of understood, like, we want to sell, so we want to start with things that are popular with the customer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the stud, our version, the bloom, so the naming was quite there. And the septum. Septum looks painful. I don't wear nose rings, but I can only imagine getting a septum piercing. So those were like one of our best sellers. And then we were just kind of pushed, and we kind of saw, like, based on our earlier SKUs, which works. So, like, for instance, we took our bloom and we took our septum, we made the septum bloom. As like people are looking for more convenience. And then we also had the classic, the Tupac one, you know, that's the only nose ring.
It's a simple one, yeah.
And then from there, we started understanding. So the one thing, like I said, like, data is a very big thing for us, and not just data in terms of analytics, but actually like responding to our DMs and our WhatsApp. We are very good at that, you know, and that has literally led us to build in new SKUs, pick new pieces, put them in together, help us with our colors, and actually see what's working or not, you know. And so I have to give it to our customers. They've really guided us in terms of because we've also just felt like, hey, okay, we like this. And then we go to the manufacturer and we get that and it doesn't sell. And we're just like, oh, okay, now we've got dead stock, you know, and that's not the way to do it. So the customers, the DMs, the comments, and our social media, they've really guided us in terms of the direction we should go, because at the end of the day, we do this for them, you know.
Yes.
And we love the comments, the compliments, and making them happy because they've got a jewelry that they don't have to pierce. And they have these beautiful stories about, hey, my mom doesn't want me to have this piercing, so I got this, you know. So we really try to be on the ground in terms of that, and we take their lead.
So you basically respond to the demand as and when it comes.
100%.
I feel like that's like a low-key business key, you know, like for some reason we have all these secrets to success, you know, as entrepreneurs and all of that. And I think that might be a part of your guys' secret to success. But we're going to get to that because you guys also have another baby together.
Yeah.
I'm interested,
so responding to demand.
As a lady, I feel like we all need that app. Tell us more about the Safe app.
Should we do a test?
Okay.
Should we start with a test? Okay, so...
Oh, we're even testing. Okay.
We could do a test.
Okay.
We could do a whole test for you. But maybe let's just contextualize. It's very easy for us to be passengers or passive in the conversations around gender-based violence. I can't tell you how many times I open up my social media and I retweet. I can't tell you how many times there is that missing post and I shudder even just at the thought that that's what I was doing this morning. I could open my Twitter and I could almost guarantee you that the most recent thing that I retweeted was that someone was missing.
Yeah.
And even just when people say that I'm not a victim of gender-based violence, I've never been a victim of gender-based violence. The mere fact that as a woman, when I get into an e-hailing car and I'm fearful, that I leave my house and I see someone that looks a little bit peculiar, that someone that's looking at me in a way that is a little bit provocative. Yeah. That means that as a woman, when I walk around with that element of fear, I'm a victim of gender-based violence. It may not be overt physical violence, but it could be that subjective or that covert kind of violence. Mm-hmm. And we grew a little bit, not tired, but we came to a point where we can't just be passive about the conversation. And I really do, once again, take my hat off to Nkanyiso, because men aren't often part of the conversation or even leading conversations around alleviating the impact or even just creating that first line of defense when it comes to gender-based violence. We have the thumb warriors where men go, oh, bro, we should do better. Gents, we should do better, when we have all these trending stories and hashtags. But not often are they saying, we're going to put our money where our mouth is and we're going to partner up with people who can make a true impact, and we could be those people make that impact. And that's what birthed the Safe app. So it's called Safe App ZA right now. But the beauty is that it also exists in various countries in Africa. And Gaisa will tell you more about that. But I think it's fair for us to do a demonstration now. For context, it's an emergency response app. The Guardian in a click. And cameras are still rolling. I need sound.
Yes.
So this is the app right here. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but I'll just show you guys right here. So this is the app here.
Uh-huh. So
And
that's the homepage.
yes, so this takes you to the panic. This is the only page. We never want people to open their app and then you still need to fiddle and now you need to go to home screen.
and do
So
that.
as you click on the app, this is what you bump into. But even if I lock my phone right here and I do this, there's my mom right there. I just go there. Oh, sorry, this
And it
doesn't
still
often happen.
basically is locating you.
Yeah.
So it's
So it's telling me exactly where we are. I don't want to show locations because people might be.
yeah.
Yeah, but here we go. So this is my location. Like, this is exactly
Does
where
the
I am.
is the secret to it having your location on all the time? Because some people are
So the
also
location,
a bit-
so the location is standard on. So you
Okay.
know, remember with a location, you can just make some location specific with an app alone.
of course.
So you
Allow
have those
wild
permissions.
use, I think, yes.
Yeah. So you have those permissions there. So you have it right over here. Boom. So now you have an option here to have your test. Sorry, guys. You have the option here to just do the test, and then you have the option here to make it active.
And then how do you let people know where you are? Do you have to have like contact list in the app so that it
So,
alerts them? Okay.
You're not alerting your friends. You're
Okay.
alerting the emergency response.
Okay.
Because the thing is, I could call you and say, friend, I think I'm getting kidnapped. But what power do you have to assist me?
And me
Friend,
coming to
this-
you
this-
where
this
you are also puts me in danger.
Friend, this or you tell your partner that this car is going the wrong way, or this person is following me. What power does that person have in that moment?
Yeah.
If I were to ask all of us in the room, what's the emergency response number for the police?
10-1.
If you are in an emergency and you get into a car accident, who's the first person that you call?
Am I not calling 911? No.
No.
No. 911 is America.
I'm gonna ask other people.
Is it 999? What is,
But
guys?
And that's the thing. People find themselves in all of these situations and they have no idea what to do.
Okay, but help. It wasn't that. It's not 911.
No.
And I don't need to know it. I
Listen,
feel good.
so you know what you do? The Safe app will assist you. So I'm going to conduct a test right now. Right now. Labon. So these are your options. You have security. So let's just
Okay.
say you need private assistance. You're leaving the club late at night. And there's this guy that's been following you. You want to get to the car. And now you don't know what you're going to do.
Is it like a particular security company or...
So we've partnered with Aura Services. So literally, they could be right there. You could say, hi guys, listen, I'm leaving the mall. I'm trying to get to my car, but there's someone that's been following me around. And you wouldn't even have to tell them exactly where you are. They'll track your location and they'll be there in 5 to 8 minutes, not a second longer. And they'll be there and they'll walk you to your car. They'll be there. They'll assist you in whatever situation. So like I said, I'm going to conduct
I see it's
a
the
test.
security and the medical.
Security or medical. Ready?
So it's hotline ambulance. Hope it has a medical.
Yes. It's happened.
Okay.
It's in real time.
Okay.
It's up.
Let's test this.
So I'm going to hold on to it. As you can see there. It says here, your security call out has been created. Please expect a call to confirm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Call's going to come in now. Hello?
Hello. Hi, I'm calling from Safe Africa, powered by Aura. We've received a panic. Is
Hi.
everything okay?
Everything okay? I was conducting a test. Could you just let me know what my location is?
I'm picking you up by the Media 24 Randburg.
All right, that is correct. Thank you so much for this test. And if I was in an emergency, what would the next step be?
We'll dispatch security to your location. And then we'll ask them to ask for Dumele, what you say in the building.
Okay, perfect.
Because it's quite a big building, if I'm guessing. So
Yes.
yeah, it's not exactly like your premises, or we've got your vehicle details
Okay,
for them to
okay.
But there is a responder already proceeding, so I'll cancel him if everything is okay.
Okay, thank you so much. All is well.
Okay, can you just confirm your juris code?
Okay. Please, everyone, close your ears. My dress code. Sorry, I'm in an interview.
Thank you. All right then. Stay safe.
All right, thank you so much. God bless you. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.
I'm personally impressed.
So literally, there's a dispatcher. They've sent the vehicle details.
I see the
and he would be here
person
in
is coming.
6 minutes. They've said exactly who it is. They've said his name, his driver details, registration, every single thing.
Why
sent.
am I still stressing with the Uber and Bolts then? Because life is this easy, and if you don't have a safe app after this, do better. Do better. And how has it been received ever since you guys launched? When did you launch it?
So we went live on the Women's Day, 9th of August, which is less than 30 days. It's almost going to be a month, I think. No, yeah. So we got.
Yeah, by the time you see this interview.
Yeah, but that's how you see this.
It's gonna be
yeah.
months.
So we've received quite well. And obviously, thank you so much for this opportunity just to let people know about it. So I'm just gonna explain like the whole app and how it works, the whole infrastructure. So we've got amazing partners in Aura services, but we also got other safe partners. And what they've allowed us to do is actually integrate our app into 2,500 first responders nationwide. So no matter where you are in South Africa and you've got a situation, we will be able to send help to you. So I know you've seen like your ADTs, your Secures, and all the security companies. So what we've been able to do is actually put them all together as a marketplace and say, okay, guys, when our customers are in this area, please send the closest vehicle to there. So it's like if you've ever used the e-hailing service or requested an Uber based on your location, it works exactly the same way. But instead of like an Uber coming, you got personal security, armed responses, and ready for you. And the nice thing about our the Safe app as well is that there are medical services. So we've got also partnered like 1,500 emergency vehicles, so your ambulances and all the people who can take care of you. And as you register for your app, you can put your medical details, your next of kin. So if you're in trouble and you can't actually talk and everything like that, you don't have to say anything. They'll just check your Safe app and they'll be able to take you to the nearest hospital based on your medical aid, let your next of kin know what's going on. And let's say, for instance, you didn't pick up that phone call right there. So immediately what they would have done is they would have sent a security vehicle. So they would have been like, okay, it's code red. She's in situation. They would have sent a security vehicle there based on where Dumila's location was. And then let's say they saw that she was in a medical emergency, and then they would go and contact the medical emergency. So it's a very potent app in terms of like the moment you just click the button, it just takes care of everything there as long as you've downloaded and you've subscribed. So it's been an amazing experience. And as much as we really care about making people safe, we've also gone the extra leap of empowering women and empowering people into learning self-defense. So we've also partnered with like a self-defense Storm Combat, which teaches women Krav Maga, which is basically one of the best arts of self-defense. We've partnered with Waterfall Firearms to basically help women learn firearm training and how to use like a firearm in responsible places, but also to go to a place to get like anti-GBV tools like your pepper spray, because like everyone's like, I need pepper spray, but where do you get that kind of stuff from? And
I've been asking that question for years.
Exactly. So we've literally created an ecosystem of partners who really, really care about people's safety and say, okay, cool. Yes, the immediate response is the underpinning of the whole Safe Africa app. But on top of that, we want to encourage our subscribers to learn self-defense, to learn how to, handle a firearm responsibly, but also find a place to, package and buy the pepper spray. And then we're currently working on a partner to help ladies act correctly in hijacking situations and driving at night. So we constantly partnering with different brands and they're jumping on, and it's been received well, not only just by the users but other corporate brands that want to jump in. And we just want to, like she said, it's one thing to talk about it, and we're in an age like it would have been really irresponsible for us saying, hey, we sell jewelry to our customers. And like I said, we love our customers. They guide us and they're females and they want jewelry, and we're all about this painless beauty. Like, how can we promise painless beauty if there's a big issue of GBV?
Yes.
So how do we challenge that? What do we actually do? Okay, cool. Let's try this. Let's see if it works out. And hopefully we can make the environment much safer. They can wear more silly jewelry. But also we want people to live fearlessly in a time like this. We don't want people just to stay at home and like, oh, I might not go out, or I might not wear this, I might not do that because of what, we want them to go. There's like, he better try me, I'll knock him out of Krav Maga.
And it's the festive season. We're gonna knock them out.
Yeah,
We
but
need to knock them out.
but hopefully you don't have to, in the emergency vehicles there already and got you, so that was the whole underlying thinking. I think Canada's been amazing doing that and leading us, and we excited for more developments. Obviously, like, it's a big thing, gender-based violence, and an app's not going to solve everything, but partnering with partners, thinking about technologies, thinking about how do we integrate certain things, how do we make our customer, like we said, we follow our DMs, we follow everything, how do we make them feel more safe, and how do we prepare them? So those are the kind of conversations that we're constantly thinking at our business, and we excited for this daunting challenge.
And you mentioned subscription. How much are we paying, if we're paying?
Okay. So right now, everyone who downloads the app, they do get a test call out for free, so they can test as many times as they want. And then what we have 3 tiers. So we have the single user. So that is definitely like 99 Rand per month. So if you're a person who loves using e-hailing, that's like one e-hailing trip, And
You're talking about me.
No, literally, and I think people, and that's the thing, like, people would like to be apprehensive. Like, why would I part ways with 99 Rand? Well, you have 24/7, 365 private security for
Just for you.
99 Rand. And that is immeasurable. That is completely, like, you can't actually put a price on what that is. But if we were, 99 Rand for a single user is the first tier. And I mean, he can continue with the rest.
Yeah.
And then we have our second tier, which is just couples. So it allows for like 1 main member and 2 free members. So in total, there's 3 users, and that comes in at 199 Rand. And then we have family, which is basically in total 5 users. So 1 main member and 4 dependents. So it comes around at like 60 Rand per user. And what's nice about having the Safe subscription is that because we've partnered with all the other brands, if you have the Safe app and you subscribe, you have 30 days free to go learn self-defense at Storm Combat at the dojo. You get discounts at Waterfall Firearms, about 10 to 20%, and we teach you everything. And we are almost trying to encourage you to become safer and practice safe habits. So we also in the process of rewarding you for doing that and meeting the right brand. So in the future, if you got the Safe app and you really, about it, you go into Krav Maga, you've done your hijacking, we're going to reward you. Maybe we get you, the girls are nice, we take you to Sobe. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
that
sounds like a dream. You're paying me for being safe.
No, that's the vision, because at the end of the day, I think it's very naive. It would be arrogant of us to think that an app will solve everything. But I think it's how do we now partner with other people, give, females and other people who need these services a real incentive to stay safe, And I think that's how we create a safer South Africa.
And then, so for the second tier and the third tier, that would be the couples and the family.
Yeah.
Do I, like, me being the main member, of course,
Yes.
am I able to track everyone else? Like, see where they are also? For example, maybe let's say I'm the main member, I have 3 of my siblings and maybe my mom and my dad. And they also have the Safe apps, right? And they're under me. Am I able to see also whenever, like, they're in, like, really dodgy places and all of that, especially because my little siblings would definitely be younger.
Yeah.
And so I would want to know where they are at what time.
So with the call option and everything like that, so they'll have the same. So what you just saw what happened, they'll all have the same services and they wouldn't have to pay, and they'll give them the details. What we are working on is obviously our new feature, and also like we've been thinking about how do we introduce wearables into this whole space. So your watches, your rings and everything like that. And ideally, we're working on these features like geolocation. So let's say, for instance, you got a child at St. Mary's, right? So on this watch, you'll be able to say, okay, cool, I want to put a 5K radius at St. Mary's. The moment she steps out of St. Mary's,
It has to alert me.
it's going to alert you.
Okay.
And then on the smartwatch, it's got you can video call and you can see the person. So all of these things we've thought about. We've had all these technologies ready and prepared. And we said, okay, cool, let's get the infrastructure. Let's actually deal with someone's in danger right now. Let's sort that out. And then we can start introducing the partners, the technologies, the
course,
wearables,
branching out.
and the cameras and everything like that, you know. And also we wanna, because we're providing safety, we have to be careful with privacy as well. Because now you're tracking and you Big Brother and everything like that, you know. So
And maybe you, Big Brother, are the perpetrator.
you know, so we have to be really slow and really conscious. So our call center handles most of the calls. So for instance, so let's say your younger one gets a call and they've sent a safe vehicle, because you've got the next of kin on the app, then they will let you know and say something's happened, this is the location, don't worry, we've handled it and stuff like that.
I like that don't worry, don't handle it, because the first thing anything happens to my little sister, I'm just like,
Yeah.
where the hell are you? I'm coming now.
And
So-
you see, and even with the demonstration, and what I always love when we do the test is every single time someone has called me, they've called me with kindness. They've called me with a sense of groundedness that I never feel like I need to panic in that situation. They'll say, this is where you are. This is what's going on. We'll send this person to you. Even no matter how frantic the situation has been, where I found myself in a bit of a frantic moment. I hope by the time you see this, I get to share the footage on social media. But I watched an accident happen right in front of me. And in that moment, I was able, even as frantic as the situation was, and maybe in moments of being a little bit incoherent, I was able to calm myself down. I was saying, okay, this is where I am. This is the situation. This is what I just witnessed. And in no more than 8 minutes, they sent medical services. And mind you, that person who was in the accident is not a dependent. And that's the thing. So
And they still helped
And they
them.
still help that person. So that person is not a dependent. So even when you're a witness, it also just helps the bystander effect that we have in the country, where you can watch something happen. You can watch someone get kidnapped. And if you have the registration details, you can say, listen, this just happened. You don't know. And I said, I'm not going to be at this occasion because I was on my way somewhere. I'm like, I'm not going to be here, but this is, the accident just happened. This is the person's name. And those are the only details that I had, because this guy got hit on a bike. Literally, he was on a bike. He got hit. He flew right off, was completely incoherent, was not able to fully communicate. They were able to get his name. But when that had happened, I was able to then alert responders. I was then able to click that button in that moment and say, I've just witnessed an accident. Could you send emergency services to this particular location? And they were like, we're on it. And literally, that's exactly what had happened. They even called me back and they said, Dumela, we just wanted to let you know that we've sent this person to this hospital. They're taken care of. And should you need any of these details, please let us know. But thank you so much. So also with that bystander thing that we have as South Africans, where you watch something happen, but because you're fearful, you go, I don't know what I could do. You watch a fight happen, you watch an assault happen. You go, I don't know how I can assist. It's so empowering to know that even as someone who may not be a victim in that situation, I can help someone else be better empowered and better equipped. That for me, I think, is the greatest win. To know that as someone that witnesses certain things, that I don't have to stand and feel like I can't assist.
And I mean, now that we've basically touched base on the two businesses that you guys have, and I think the second one is now it's close to my heart. Now I'm recruited. You know, I'm just like, I need to have this app because, oh my God, living alone is also such a nightmare. And like, there are events sometimes Candice knows that even sometimes we get back like midnight, you know, and you're catching that Uber alone. You want to sleep, but you can't. Because what if that person, you know? But knowing that I have this app now, I'm just like, I can sleep in that Uber. He will get me home.
Please don't
Someone-
sleep. Just
I
don't,
know, but
just don't
sometimes
sleep
you're just
Uber.
tired.
But look, but like what Nkanyisa had said, and that's what Ivana, who is our trainer from Storm Combat, and she was saying that the great thing is that with self-defense, you're your first line of response. Like, you're your first responder, you're your first protector. And that's what those are the conversations we don't have enough. And I dread the fact that we always tell women and potential victim of gender-based violence, people of various, women, children, respectively. Like, we always tell them the precautionary measures of this is what to not do, to not get yourself in this situation. But we can't be naive. We can't be naive.
And it's also beyond our control. I can't control what.
Precisely.
Somebody's going
But
to
what?
to
But
me.
what can I do? I can empower myself. I can arm myself. In the spirit of armor, I also wanted to say, because someone could watch this interview and go, a firearm. Okay, what if I want to get a gun? I'm gonna be like that person walking around with a
Somehow we
gun.
are having a gun
Yeah,
also
but-
in this country, please.
But something that Yvonne had also brought into mind that was so sobering for me, and it's like, oh, Candice, wake up, wake up. I could be in a situation where someone has a firearm in front of me. Someone could literally pull out a firearm and want to use it on me. How do I then respond in that situation? Self-defense. And now if I know how to handle a gun through waterfall, then that also helps.
But also when you're in fear, ne, the mind sometimes just glitches.
But that's also with storm combat. It's not just about the physical. It's always it's every single thing. It's the lifestyle aspect. And that's what SAFE is all about. It's not just about that immediate resource, but it's about the lifestyle around it, the attitude around it, and also just that element of fear that we always speak about.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how do I get my mind right for a situation like this, that I'm not buckling under fear? It's not fight or flight. It's not going to be if flight is an option and running from the situation is an option, then run. But if you are in a situation where you have to fight, then fight you will, and it will kick in with enough training.
And with Sille, we did mention that Safe Africa app we want to take it far beyond just, but with Sille jewelry, where are we taking it? Physicals though?
So yeah, I'll touch a little bit on that. So Sele is women love jewelry all over the world, and the one thing I can definitely say is that the thing that it forces Sele to expand is not because of by our design, it's by the market. They keep asking us, hey, is it available here in this country? Is it available in this country? Is it available in that country? So we obviously have increased our footprint in different countries, especially like in Botswana. And what we've decided to do before we get into the stores is actually empower some of the ladies there who want to have their own e-commerce store across the African continent. So right now we're talking to a lady in Lesotho. We're currently training her up how to do your marketing, how to build up your website, and then she'll be a reseller of Seller. And then we also have a lady in Namibia doing the same. Because like I said, at the end of the day, I mean, we want to empower people. That's our whole goal. And people love the brand. And it just makes sense for us to send them stock and have trusted units and trusted people there. But in South Africa, of course, there are opportunities, there are desires for us to open up a store. Because at the end of the day, as much as people love social media, as much as they interact, like we've actually dealt with, maybe let's say 60% of our customers were first-time buyers online. And we've had to go like literally get our stuff, deliver with Pep and Taxi, just to make sure that we can touch those unserviced areas. But now, people want physical locations. So we are not just going to give you any local store or any store. It needs to be something that fits our brand, that our customers love. Yes. And something is a whole experience, So we're not trying to just open a store for the sake of opening a store. It needs to be like the same feeling you go when you go walk past Apple. We want to be that high, affordable. But, when you look at our packaging, when you look at our products, you feel like we love you. Even the way we communicate with you, it's hearts and everything like that.
And so not the zipper bag.
Sorry?
And
no
not the
Ziploc bags.
No Ziploc bags. No Ziploc bags. No Ziploc bags. No Ziploc
Yeah.
bags, of course. And that's like we said, like again, we don't want to stop our winning formula of communicating with our customers. We'll probably do like a survey and like us, what do you want to have in the store? What do you have to do? But she will talk more in terms of our store and the people we're talking to.
Yeah, so I think what also pushed us into the store aspect was when we were nominated under Top 16 Youth-Owned Brand Awards.
Yes.
And I think that really challenged us to really get into the space more. We had our very first opportunity to exhibit because everything's always been online. So we didn't really think of what is our look and feel, what's the customer experience, what are people going to interact with the minute they come to our store for the first time. And that was such a huge challenge, but we came out more successful than we could have ever imagined. Turnaround, numbers that we didn't even expect. He had to leave, get more stock, come back. There was just so much happening, especially because we didn't go there with the original plan to sell. We came to exhibit. And there were people like, I want this now. I want to buy this right now. Oh, this is, you clip on
And it's
right
also affordable.
and
I
it's
love
so
that.
affordable. Not a single thing about 500 Rand. And this is
Yes.
just within the nose rings and the sets that we have, the earrings and things that we'll branch out into a little bit more. We've experimented with different SKUs and different pieces and accessories holistically. But we're looking to do a lot more pop-ups as well. We've had a special request for like your markets, like the various Sunday markets or your Saturday and weekend markets,
Oh, that's so
for us to
awesome.
just be made more accessible there and to be where the people are. I know sometimes people think like, oh, I want to be niche. I want people to come to me. Let's go to where they are. So we're looking into more markets and exploring, experimenting with those a lot more. And that's very exciting. I know we are in the summer now. So it's going to be really fun to meet people and to have those little pop-up opportunities. And yeah, and potentially collaborating with other niche stores as well that
course.
already have accessories and partnering up with them. They already have some traffic. So really just exploring and collaborating with established spaces as well. So we'll see what's
I'm
coming.
excited. I'm waiting for that one.
As are we. As are
Yes.
we.
Yeah, and I mean, we're back here where I'm asking your secret to entrepreneurial success. There must be something that you guys basically look towards whenever you jump from one business to the other. There is that key. What is it?
Oh, must I start?
I mean,
I'm gonna
Candice is
keep
waiting
I'll
for
keep
it.
mine so
Yeah.
short, but yeah, you
Look,
can.
I think, you know what, when we look at the business, I think sometimes people get tied up in terms of thinking about what they're passionate about and everything like that. But what I've learned and what we've learned through Seller and through Safe and how these business came about is you really have to think about your ideal customer and service them. Like, what does your ideal customer do? Where do you find them? What do they think about? And how do you create like your branding colors, your marketing colors, your whole tonality based on that? Because if you really just think about Seller and you think about Safe, there are two different complete businesses from the other side. But what do they have in common? It's the same customer. Like if you're gonna looking for somebody who's looking for, they don't want to pierce their nose, they want to wear something cute, they're tired of work, they want to, look flashy, they want to have big ear hoops, they're going out to party, they're having a great time. What happens? They might get drunk and then they don't know what's going on. They feel unsafe. So when you really, really think about your ideal customer and you think about where you're going to find them, what are their problems, then you can start solving those solutions for them. And then it comes slowly. And like I said, at the end of the day, there is market research, there's all that. You can go on Google and search that, but there's nothing like a customer, there's nothing like a follower, there's nothing like responding to your DM. And if you grow your customer base and you grow them and show them love, they will show you love, not just by, transaction and giving you a sale. They'll give you insights and say, hey, if you have 20 people saying, hey, we need a belly ring, that means you need to produce a belly ring. Don't think anything else. Just do the belly ring. If they like it, we want it in this color. Get it in that color. All right, cool. I wanted to wear my belly ring out, but I didn't feel safe. Get the Safe app, So literally, if you just focus on your customer and you literally think about how best can I serve my customer, then everything else becomes easier because you'll realize like, oh, I really like my favorite color red, but my customer prefers pink. Okay, let's make it pink, So it really takes you out yourself and customers respond to that. And at the end of the day, that's what builds a business is your customers. And if you are not communicating with them, if you're not doing what you say, if you trust me, customers will let you know. If you say your product needs to be there in 5 days and your product is not there in 5 days, your credibility goes out
Even
the
if it's
window.
not in 3 days, they go, it's not here. I can reset 3 to 5.
Yeah,
So 3 is minimum.
yeah, but
One more day.
yeah, but that is those, like, it's easier for them to trust Seller, to trust Safe, because they're like, oh, these are the guys who did Seller, or they said we'll get your product within 3 to 5 working days anywhere in South Africa. I've been ordering. It's the first time I bought online ever in my whole life. I'm trusting this person. I got my packet, and then you'll see the reshare, the repost, and they're like, these are the same people. They're making me safe. They don't have to doubt it, So I think that's very, very important. Like, do not think that business operations and staff and team And creating those layers between you and the customer is going to make you a big business. You have to be a direct line of access. They need to think that they're talking to the founders, immediately.
Which
and
they often are.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they're definitely talking to Candice and Nkanyiso behind that.
Yeah, they often are.
Yeah.
I think my thing is just to remain teachable. There's been many times that we've gone in with a desired outcome, with an expectation, justifiably. I mean, I had a certain number of followers, and I was like, oh, this business got to take off. We got to have all the sales. Crickets. Which wasn't the case. But I think just kind of being malleable, being teachable, and giving ourselves the grace to explore and to experiment with various options. I think that's the key thing for us.
Yeah. And I mean, if you've got that key and you take these 2 keys into your business, it might be just as successful, credible, and as safe as the Safe app and Silla Jewelry. I'm going to try out some of these, but you are going to catch us in the next episode of Behind the Brand. Till next time.